This is the plaintiff, Courtney Thompson. She says her son was killed due to gun violence, and his car was located at his girlfriend's house at the time of his murder. She asked her other son to retrieve the car, and he did. Now he won't give it to her. She's the next of kin. It's now her car, and she's here suing her son for $2,500, the value of the car. This is the defendant, Reuben Derek Cornett. He says he and his brother were very close, and he gave him all of his important papers to look after, including the title of his 2000 Nissan Maxima. His brother would have wanted him to have the car. His mother's blind in one eye and doesn't drive too well, and he's keeping his brother's car and his memory alive. He's accused of making Mom mad.
All parties, please raise your right hand. People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Williams now presiding. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
All right, Ms. Thompson, you are suing your son, Mr. Cornett, for $2,500, the value of a car, but what you really want is the car. Tell me what's going on.
My son was killed in June 23rd, and
Of what year?
2021. He was just killed. I buried him
sorry.
July 16th.
I'm very sorry to both of you for your loss. How was he killed?
Somebody shot him.
Okay.
He was at his girlfriend's house when he got killed. So all his stuff was left there. His car was in her parking lot, and all his paperwork and everything was in his car. Clothes and stuff probably was in her house or in his car. His shoes, everything was there, except what he had in his apartment, at his own apartment. But when we went to the scene, the police wouldn't let me see my baby. They wouldn't let nobody go back there and see. And I had asked my son to go and get his car.
Did the police ever tell you, or did you ever learn what led to the shooting, or what had happened?
No, it's still an open case.
All right, let's talk about the car. You asked Mr. Cornett to go and get the car, and then what happens?
Yes.
Does he bring it to you?
No, he went and hid the car. He went and got the car. Well, him and my sister snuck over there and got the car, because I was going to have the car towed to my house. But him and my sister snuck over there and got the car.
I thought you asked him to get the car.
I did, but at the time I was asking him to go get the car, he was telling me it was too soon. He didn't have a way to get over there and get it. He didn't know where the key was. He didn't know where that was and all this. So I was going to have the car towed to my house, but I didn't have money at the time to have it towed.
So why are you saying your sister and he snuck it out? Why would your sister be involved?
Well, because somebody had to take him there, and they drove the car.
Why do you assume it's your sister?
After I talked to the girlfriend, she told me that.
How old was your son?
He was 27.
I presume at 27 he didn't have a will, correct?
No.
And he wasn't married?
No.
Did he have children?
No.
So tell me the discussion you and your son have, this son, about the car. When you say, I want the car, what does he say?
He said that he's not going to bring the car to me unless the police tell him to give me the car. I went to the police telling me they don't have nothing to do with this. They homicide. I asked the detective that's on my son's case to tell my son to give me my son's car.
Well, what reason was your son, Mr. Cornett, giving you for not giving you the car?
He's telling me I'm blind I'm in one of my eye. I'm blind in my left eye. And that's about it. I mean, he calls himself putting the car up, but I need the car. I went washing the other day, and I had to make 5 trips back and walking up and down the street to the wash house to wash my clothes. He tells me I don't have a driver's license, which he don't either. And I have nieces and nephews that do have driver's license. I do have people that can drive me around. And he's just, he has a car. He don't even need the car.
Let me talk to you, Mr. Cornett. What's going on?
Basically, when my brother first got killed, my mom been bugging me like that night, the previous day, and so forth to get his car. I explained to my mom that I work, I do security, so I can't just up and go when you want me to. I explained to her that I would get the car when I get a chance to. She bugged me, bugged me, bugged me. My girlfriend, my auntie, I have multiple different witnesses that's been around me while I talk to my mom and while she bugs me. I explained to my mom that this is the last thing that we have of my brother, and it don't need to be treated like it's just another car. My mom doesn't have the proper income to take care of the car. She don't even know where to start. She don't even know the history. She don't know what's wrong with his car. I explained that to her. I offered her to give her any of the property out of his car. I offered her to give her the clothes, the shoes, everything to her. She told me, I don't want that. I want his car. So I said, well, mom, you're not getting his car. You know, like you can't see. You don't even have the proper money to take care of the car. The car needs to be registered. My brother, I always took my brother paperwork, his birth certificate. I took all that personal paperwork. I always took his phone bill paper, his car paperwork. He gave me his car paperwork way before got killed.
So your theory is he would have wanted you to have the car?
Everything that my brother did, it was because he looked up to me. Anytime he had a car, he put rims, tinted windows, whatever he did to his car, it was because how I had my car.
Did your son, Ms. Thompson, leave anything behind of value besides the car? Bank accounts, jewelry, anything like that?
No, I'm not sure if he had jewelry or not. Because like I said, my son got to over there to everything. My son didn't give Ruben no paperwork. That all that stuff was in my son's car. When he went and got the car, he got everything. Everything was in my son's car. He didn't leave Ruben anything. Ruben's not telling the truth.
Do you have a good relationship with your mom, Mr. Cornett?
Our relationship, no, not so good. It's been like this since birth. I grew up in foster care, in and out of her home since born. Me and Kim have been in foster care since birth, in and out with her house, foster care, sister, my auntie. We just been moved around all our life. We never had a stable home. My mom
You're a big old
beat us as a kid, and everything. So I don't have a relationship like with her as a normal parent and son should. I try to deal with my mom because that's my mom and I love her, and I know that I'm the only son that she has out here now. But it's very hard dealing with my mom at times. So I don't have a good relationship with her like that. No.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
I am a recovering addict, and I did lose custody of my kids, and I stayed in this system until I fought and got my babies back home. I have an older son that lives in Virginia, and I told him I was going to have you call him if you would, for him to tell you. My kids was in foster care, but I fought with this system until I got my babies back home.
How long,
Ruben's
just out of
not telling the
curiosity, how long were they in foster care?
All her life.
How long were they in the system? Because they was in foster care maybe about 2 years. Because see, I went to a drug program, ma'am. I got kicked out of the program after a year. Me and another girl there had an incident, so they kicked me out of the program after a year. So after the year, I had to start all over again with the program. That means I had to go to another program, finish that program. So it took about 2 years.
So you say 2
But
years.
I was always in my kids' life every step of the way. They came, had weekend visits. I never left my babies, never. I can show you, well, I didn't bring the pictures with me, but I have pictures of them all their life. While they was in foster care, they always got a birthday cake for me. I was always there to see about them wherever they was. And Ruben's not quite telling you the truth about.
I'd be more concerned that that's Ruben's perspective than I would be over the car. I'd be very concerned that that's Ruben's perspective, and everybody in their complaint and their answer talks about how, it's the last thing we can remember him by, but that's really not what's going on here. It's really about having the car. What's happening with the car? Because the car is not in your name, Mr. Cornett. So what's going on? You have physical possession of the car?
Yes, ma'am. The thing that I told my mom is that nobody's driving his car. I'm not even driving it. Nobody's driving it. Her thing is that, yes, I have another car, but I'm trying to keep my brother's car put away, fix it up as time go by. And when birthdays and stuff comes around, it could be a show car to remember him. I'm not driving it around, parking it, or anything like that. Her thing is she wants to drive it to appointments and so forth, so forth. I'm not letting nobody.
What kind of
drive
car
this
is this?
It's a 2000
It's
Nissan
a
Maxima.
2000 Nissan Maxima.
And I also have a witness to go with what I said also.
What's your witness about?
Basically, my witness is my auntie, and she's going to say, basically, she's going to tell you guys that.
Let me talk to the auntie.
my
Is she there with you?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Can you
Yes.
swear her in, please?
Can I get you to raise your right hand, please? Thank you. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Can you tell me your name, please?
My name's Blair B. Robinson.
Okay. And what are you a witness to? How can you shed some light on this case for me?
I've been with Ruben ever since my nephew was murdered.
Okay.
And I didn't sneak with, I'm the sister that Courtney's referring to. We didn't sneak anything. The thing is, Kenneth's car has never been registered. It's still registered in the state of Arizona. Kenneth never registered that car. When Ruben tried to register the car, Kenneth has been driving around in that car without license plates. It has no license plates. He's never registered any of the cars he's ever bought, including this one. And when Ruben tried to register the car, he found out that it's still registered in Arizona. He tried to call the number that the gentleman gave him to call to try to get the pink slip so that he could try to register it in the state of California. So it's not even supposed to even be driven, even when Kenneth had it, to even be driven. It's not legally, well, he's not supposed to drive it in California because it's still registered in the state of Arizona.
Has anybody made contact with the prior owner?
Ruben tried to. It's a name. Is it a business? It's a business or a name that's on the registration in Arizona.
And when you say Ruben tried to, has he spoken to anybody?
No, he hasn't spoken to. They didn't answer the phone, so he hasn't spoken to anyone to try to get the bill of sale and try to get the pink slip so that it can be registered in the state of California. And Ruben has all the paperwork necessary except.
Okay, I got it, everybody. I got it. Okay,
So,
here's how it works, folks. How's your relationship with your sister?
I don't really have a relationship with my sister.
Why not?
She feels, because Courtney feels that Ruben is closer to me than her. She feels that when she gets mad at Ruben, he's my son. She tells him his name, she's going to take her name off of the birth certificate and put my name on the birth certificate because I have she accuses me of I'm his mother. The relationship is, he's, I don't know, I don't want to use the language. He just kisses my butt and he just, I guess, yeah, that's, my sister Courtney can say some stuff.
Okay, but can I ask you something?
Really
Did you have a good relationship with her before, ever, or
No.
not really? All right.
Not really.
All right, let me tell you, go ahead and let's get Ruben back in there because I want to explain to you what the law is in your state and give you some guidance on how you have to proceed. Here's the thing. When you don't have a will, you die intestate. That's the word in the law, intestate, without a will, without telling us what your intentions are. And then people think that they can each come up and say, I know he would have wanted this, I know he would have wanted that. It really doesn't matter. If you die without a will, then the state decides how your stuff goes and where it goes. And in most states, and the vast majority of states, if you die without a will, somebody, just to make sure nobody's doing any fancy footwork and nobody's cheating anybody out of anything, they make you go to probate court and actually file a probate case and say, Judge, we need you to declare who gets the property. Now, a lot of states, because that is so expensive and time consuming. A lot of states have etched out some exceptions to this. For example, when somebody doesn't have a big estate, when we're not talking about, a lot of money, then some states have a threshold. For example, the state of California has a threshold of specifically $166,250. If the estate is worth less than that, which obviously your deceased son's estate is worth less than that, then you don't have to go to probate court. So that's a good thing. You don't have to go to probate court. But then how do you lay claim to it? Okay? You believe that you're the brother, you know better, and you're a better person, so you're entitled to it. That's not how it works. The way it works is the first question, did he have any children? That's first in line. The children don't exist. Nobody. Then the next question, so it goes down to children. Then it goes up to parents, and she's the parent. And then if there's no parents, then it goes sideways to siblings. So in theory, you, Ms. Thompson, could file with the Department of Motor Vehicles something called a small estate certificate to attempt to have this put in your name. Okay? And then you would call the police and say, I want the car. The problem you have, from what I'm hearing, is it's not even in your son's name. It's in the prior owner in Arizona's name. So good luck with that. But I'm not sure that the law even recognizes it as being his car until certain things are done, which I don't think you're capable of. I mean, you could be capable of doing it. I don't know. But that's all going to be on you. I can't do it for you. He's probably not going to do it for you, especially since you sued one son over another son's car.
Judge, can I say something about that, please, ma'am?
Yeah, talk to me about that, because I'm a little surprised that someone who lost their son is willing to sue the other son over the car because they can use it for errands.
Okay, ma'am. I asked the police, I asked my son 5 or 6 times to bring me Kenneth's car. He got everything that was my son's. The police wouldn't get involved. The police told me the only legal way I can get the belongings from my son was to take him to court. Yeah. I didn't want to take my son to court, ma'am. I didn't want to do that. But he wouldn't give me my son's car. He hasn't given me anything of my son's.
I don't know what to tell you. But right now, I just don't see how anybody's going to be able to do anything with this car. That's it. There's nothing I can do for you. Go to probate court. Jeez.
That's it. That's it.
Wow, a lot of legal complexities here. So the judge did not find for the plaintiff. There was no decision, quite frankly. Nobody prevails. Let's see what Ms. Thompson has to say about it. She brought the case to court against her son. Ms. Thompson, what are you thinking right now? This is kind of a pickle.
I'm thinking real sad right now, because I rightfully have a right to everything my son owned. Everything my son owned is rightfully mine, and my son is taking all of it. Everything. I have nothing of my son's.
Well, obviously, the judge said you've got to go to probate court to get those other things that belong to your son. Let me ask you, Mr. Cornett, your relationship obviously has not been very good up to this point. What about now that she sued you?
It's crazy. It's crazy that it's over a car. Like I've been telling her, she was complaining about the car before we even buried my brother. So it's more to it than just the cars. It's not even that she don't care about the relationship. It's more of the car, not the relationship she had with me. So I mean, I push myself farther and farther away. Everything she do, it just pushes me away. So.
Well, it sounds to me like court's not going to settle this issue at all. It's a real problem between the two of you. All right, I'm sorry about that. Hopefully you can work it out sooner or later, someday. All right? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's the judge's decision. Nobody prevails. Harvey, this is a fascinating legal issue.
So, Doug, this is a case, and we've had these before, where the judge doesn't have jurisdiction because it is really a probate case. When items are left by a deceased person, typically that has to be sorted out by the probate judge, not by a small claims court judge, because it either has to do with a will, or if there isn't a will, the rules of the state on who gets what. And that will do it for this case. Litigants, for the next case inside the courtroom.